Today I will be transforming these Dollar Tree items into high-end home decor. Pinwheel, sunglasses, and yes, an eyeliner. You're not gonna believe what these become. Hi, I'm Loli, and I'm so glad you are here. Let's create something beautiful and find a little joy along the way. For this project, I'm gonna use one of these huge little tumblers from the Dollar Tree. It's a beautiful strawberry, and I wanted to accentuate the little details that it has. So I'm taking a paint marker that I got some years back from Dollar Tree. I haven't seen them since. And we are going to go ahead and color in those seeds in there. And this is what it looked like when I had them all colored in. Now we're going to take our sunglasses. We're going to remove that packaging. And it was hard to remove this section right here, but I just took a little bit of alcohol in a paper towel and I was able to wipe off the sticky residue on my sunglasses. And as we are doing that, we're going to go ahead and clean off the lenses as well, remove the sticker from the front so everything is nice and clean so we can attach it. To attach this to our cool strawberry, we are going to use a combination of UHU glue and some hot glue. I'm using the UHU for that long-term hold and the hot glue so it will hold it in place until that other glue dries. And I tried doing it like this first. I thought, you know what, I'm going to be able to hold it in place and the hot glue is going to set and then everything is going to be perfect. Wrong. This is plastic. So with the pressure, the sunglasses kept trying to pop off and it was not holding it in place. So I said, you know what, we're going to have to do something different. So I said, you know what, we are going to bend this plastic. And what's the best way to do it? Add some heat. So I removed the glasses completely off of my strawberry. And I'm going to bring in my heat tool and I'm going to heat up each one at the little feet of the sunglasses. And I'm going to bend it on inward and make it a bit rounder so it's able to hug the strawberry much better. And I don't have the resistance trying to come apart. I'm not going to lie, I was scared that I was going to completely melt it and ruin the glasses, but as I kept going, I figured out exactly how much heat I needed to put on there to make it malleable but not break. So I just continued to do that until I had them completely curved, just like this. And this works so much better because now it's going to hug my strawberry. Now I came back in with the UHU and the hot glue once again, and this actually did work. I'm using my UHU first because hot glue dries a lot quicker, so we want to make sure that we have plenty of time to put that on there. I'm adding a little bit in between the UHU. I'm going to hold it in place there, and once that hot glue sets, I'm going to come in with some UHU and put some more on the edges to make sure that I have that long-term hold. And that is it for this one. I'm just going to put a tiny little straw cover from the Dollar Tree at the top, and we have a cool strawberry to keep us nice and refreshed all summer long. For this project, we'll be using this solar light from Dollar Tree. Just open it up just so you can see the makeup inside of it. The solar panel is the inside, and so is the battery. We're going to put it back together, and then I'm going to paint it with these two colors. These are outdoor colors from Decor that I found at Dollar Tree. Then I took a pool noodle and I'm going to cut that piece in half, and I'm going to use it as a stand to hold this piece in place while I paint it. I'm going to start with the black. For the black, I'm just going to add some to a paintable surface, and then I'm going to paint the bottom section or the back section that I'll be using for the back for this project on here, making sure that I have a nice clean line. Then I'm going to continue to make stripes all along, leaving an empty space in the middle. I ended up doing about 4 stripes. My friend, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button, and while you're there, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you each time that I upload a new video.
All these things are free and they mean the world to me. Thank you so much. And this is what it was looking like so far. Now we're going to take the yellow color, the outdoor paint tool from Decor Art as well that I got from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to paint all those middle sections. And here I'm just adding just one coat of paint because I do not want this to be too dark so the sunlight is able to reach this. So this is what it looked like. And then I take one of these windmills from Dollar Tree and I'm going to use the head in the front here. And to be able to add it on, I'm going to melt a hole into the front as you see there. You can use your glue gun or you can use this sort of an iron that I got from Amazon. I will link it in my description box below. I just did a hole that was big enough to hold that little peg that's in the back of the head and then just put it right in there and let that melted plastic hold it in place. Then I'm taking two of these spindle portions here, the wings, I don't know what you call them these. You know what I'm talking about. These pieces right here that I'm taking off. I took two of them off using some snips and I took my soldering iron and I'm adding two holes to the top section of my bee, trying to space them out as with the distance that those little pieces have, the little metals from those windmill wings. And I'm going to add it to the holes as you see there. And these are going to become the wings of our decor piece here. And I did the same thing with the other side. And I'm trying to not add any of this to the middle because that is where the solar panel of this piece is located. So we just adding it apart as you see there. And if you notice, I've kept the yellow instead of the black there. So as much sunlight will hit that portion of the bee. And just like that, we're going to just add a little bit of glue to this because this is going to be outside. I do not expect hot glue to hold this in place. So I'm going to add some of this new UHU glue that I'm trying out. And I just added a little bit of hot glue as well to hold it in place until this other glue set. And that's it for this one. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this piece?
Today's video is part of the Just Our Imagination challenge that is hosted by Catillo DIYs, Rustic and Lace DIYs, and the guest host is Small Farm Living. The links to their channels and to their playlist will be linked in the description box below, so make sure to head on over to their playlist and show everyone some love. And we have some challenge items. The challenge items are eyeliner, a pinwheel, and some sunglasses. I know, right? But we are ready for the challenge. For this project, we are starting with these sunglasses from the Dollar Tree. You're going to remove it from the packaging and taking this small screwdriver set, we're going to remove the feet off of it. What do you call this? The things that go in your ears. I always call it the feet of the glasses. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm going to remove both of those. I'm going to put them to the side because you never know what you're going to need small screws for and those little feet as well. I attempted to cut this in half, like not really straightwards, but in the shape of the petals, but X-Acto knife was not strong enough. So I brought out my heat tool in a very low setting because I don't want this to scorch the white in the flower. So I'm being very careful using my knife attachment on this heat tool, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there in half. Once I have most of it cut out, I just bent it back and forth until it snapped in place. And if you see there, I just squeeze it around. And then here, I'm just making it flat in those sections that it kind of did like a little mount on there. I want to make sure that everything is seamless. So I'm removing the extra plastic from those areas. And once I had it shaped exactly the way that I wanted, so the petals look like they were never connected to anything else, I came in with my sip sander. I'm just going to sand off any edges that turn yellow or any places that still have a little bump to them. And it turned out so nice. I'm using here 220 grit sandpaper on my sip sander, and it was perfect. And I did the same thing with the other one as well. Then I took these LA Colors eyeliners from the Dollar Tree, and we removing the packaging, and we're going to attach it to the bottom section of this. Here, the section where the nose would have been, it has like a little flat area. So I'm going to add a little bit of UHU glue to the top of the tip of the eyeliner, and then I'm going to position it sitting. I'm going to have the flower sit on that ledge and hold it in place. But it was not adhering completely, so I'm going to lay it down and then put a nice dab of hot glue in the back to hold it in place until that UHU glue sets. And I repeated the same thing with the other flower as well. Next, I took two of these little planters from the Dollar Tree and I went to paint them with some Rust-Oleum white chalk paint. I only did one coat and I wanted it to look distressed. So I'm spritzing it with some water, and then I'm taking a paper towel and then just doing a wet distress technique. That just means you're going to take a wet rag and use it to remove some of the paint from the surface, revealing the surface underneath. And it has that beautiful terracotta color underneath. I just did that all around. I did it also in the rim and in any places where I felt I wanted it to be more distressed. And it just makes it look a bit more, I don't know. I like the effect that this gives. It gives it a little bit of dimension and charm. And I did this with both the planters. Then I took some floral foam and put them inside of each of the planters, and I'm going to stick my two flowers inside of them as you see there. I'm not done yet. I'm going to take some of these fairy lights that I got from Temu. I love them because the power banks are so tiny you can stick them anywhere. I'm going to unravel them and I'm going to coil them on the back of each one of the flowers. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue right here at the back, wait until that dries, and then I'm going to circle around the lens portion of the sunglasses or daisy at this point, but making sure that it's on the white and not on the glasses section of this. And I just kept coiling it around until I got about two-thirds of the amount of the fairy lights on it. For the lower third of the fairy lights, I'm going to go ahead and coil it all the way around the stem or the eyeliner. I coiled it very, very close to each other because I want to make sure that I have lights all the way down the entire piece, because there is quite a space between light bulbs on these strands. So I'm making sure that I have a light bulb very close to each other so the entire stem is completely illuminated. Then I'm going to take the tiny little power bank. I love these because the power banks can be stuck anywhere. I'm going to make sure that that on and off button is towards the top. Then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue on the bottom onto the floral foam and glue that power bank down in place. And what I did to this one, I did to the other one as well. Now we are going to take some of this moss. This is reindeer moss from Dollar Tree. I'm going to just add some hot glue to the floral foam and also to some sections on the edges of the planter so this stays in place. But I'm being very careful that I'm not covering that button for the power bank. I'm going to add a little bit of the glue onto all around that little button, and I just place small amounts of that moss just to camouflage it. But you're able to see the little button, so you're able to turn this off and on. And that is it for this one. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this project. I love it.
For this one, I'll be using one of these solar lights from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it with this red outdoor paint. I did only 2 very light coats. Here, I was a little bit concerned that the light will not go in all the way to be able to recharge the solar panel inside of the light. So I decided to scrape off some of the paint of that area. If you create this, if you find these lights, I only found them once. But if you do find these and get to recreate them, I will say just when you're painting this, just avoid this section altogether so that way you will be avoiding this step altogether as well. Once I had the entire square done, now we are going to come in with this outdoor black paint from Decor. Found at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use the back of this marker as well to just dip that end onto the paint and create polka dots all around it. At first I went smaller, but then I was like, you know what, it's looking like it's having chicken pox instead of a ladybug. So here you'll see me getting them more spaced out and making those circles a bit larger. If you're enjoying this content, please go ahead and hit that like button and let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. I love to know how far my videos are reaching. And also share with someone who will enjoy it as much as you do, because sharing is caring and it helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. Now that all my polka dots are done, we're going to put them inside to dry, and we're going to take one of these windmills from Dollar Tree. We're going to remove the head of this, and I'm going to also remove 4 pieces off of this. Now that the polka dots have dried, we are going to come in with my soldering tool, and I'm going to add a hole to the front portion, or the wider portion of the solar light here, and I'm going to stick that head right onto it, and I'm doing it quickly before that plastic hardens again. And to make sure that it stays put, I'm going to take some of this UHU glue and add it in between both surfaces. Guys, I have to apologize to you. My voice is horrible today. I am sick. Please have some grace with me. I'm doing the best I can to finish this video. I was hoping to do more DIYs, but this is all I have energy to do. Alright, as you see there, I just bought 2 holes using my soldering machine. Here the holes were not as wide as I needed it to be, so I'm coming back with another pass, then positioning those 2 prongs into it. I want to make sure that that fabric is against the solar light, and then once I'm happy with the way that it falls on it, I'm going to just add some of my UHU pigment or glue to that as well. But first I added hot glue to make sure that everything stayed in place, so I'm able to add some of the UHU in the top section, kind of like within the holes, so that way that plastic and the metal will stay together. And I'm adding some hot glue to the back to make sure that that wing also stays on the level that I want it to be on. And I did the same process with both of the wings. If you're enjoying the content, go ahead and smash that like button. The holes were left with some humps and too big, so I am coming in with the soldering machine and shortening it up, or flattening it again, bringing the plastic onto the opening to make it shorter. And I did that with all 4 holes. And then I added 2 more wings to the back section using this same technique. Then I painted any surfaces that did not have any paint left after I did the soldering technique. And that is it. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this project.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, here are a couple more videos you are sure to enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're amazing. Bye.